From stories across the world to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Nitya Delivera.
A very good evening to you. I am Dishan Virakon, and we start off by taking a look at your top stories for tonight. Limited number of train and bus services to be deployed upon relaxing of travel restrictions. The corona death toll increases with the worldwide spread of the Delta strain. Chinese health approval on Sri Lankan fish produce. The Prime Minister reiterates that it is a timely requirement to direct towards organic farming for the sake of creating a healthy generation. The three suspects, including a police sub-inspector arrested on charges of transporting a stock of heroin narcotics, have been further interrogated. Ibrahim Raisi has been elected as the new president of Iran. In a top story for tonight, State Minister Dilum Amudgama says that several train journeys and a restricted number of bus services will be added to common transportation upon relaxing of travel restrictions on the 21st of this month. He further says that there will not be any inter-provincial common transportation services during these periods. The Department of Railways says that only 17 trains will be operated after the relaxation of travel restrictions at 4 a.m. on the 21st of this month until 10 p.m. on the 23rd of this month. Accordingly, 6 trains will be deployed on the main line, 4 trains on the coastal line, 4 trains on the Kalani Valley line and 3 trains on the Puttalam line. Meanwhile, the Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital in Colombo says a novel disease was detected among some of the COVID-19 infected children. Specialist physician Dr. Nalin Kitulwatta said that this is a disease condition prevailing in children between 2 to 6 weeks after the affliction of the COVID-19 disease. He added that the perplexing problem is that none of the victims is aware of the affliction of COVID. The specialist physician added that 6 of the afflicted children are currently undergoing treatment in the intensive care unit. Most of the children are between the ages of 8 and 15 years. The disease symptoms are fever, severe body pains, stomachache, diarrhea and vomiting. The other disease characteristics are the reddening of eyes and appearing of a rash on the skin. However, the most dangerous fact is that it could attack the heart of the child as well. The patient may even die due to a decrease in blood pressure. He added that therefore this is a new disease. It was first discovered in England in April 2020. Now it has reached Sri Lanka as well. All children with disease symptoms should immediately seek medical treatment.
පාචනය බඩේකැක්කුම මේ වගේ රෝග ලක්ෂණ තියෙනවා නම් වහාම දුෂ්කම්ලත් වෛද්‍යවරයෙක් හමු වෙන්න. මොකද පරක්කු කරනවා කියලා කියන්නේ අපි ළමයාගේ ජීවිතය අනතුරකට හෙළනවා කියන එක.
Vaccination of residents in Arama Road, Dematagoda has commenced today upon detection of COVID-19 infected patients of the Delta strain. Accordingly, around 1,000 persons have been vaccinated. A total number of 3,217,218 persons have been inoculated up to yesterday. The second dose of the Covishield vaccine was also given to 1,258 persons yesterday. The number of persons who have received the first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine yesterday amounts to 22,419. 34,476 persons have also received the second dose of the Sinopharm vaccine yesterday. The first dose of the Sputnik V vaccine was provided to 16,709 persons yesterday. The second dose of the same vaccine was delivered on 207 persons yesterday. The vaccination procedure was carried out successfully today as well. 1,420 COVID-19 patients were detected in the country today. Meanwhile, 2,134 patients left the hospitals today following recovery. State Minister Vimala Veera Disanayake says that the condition of the lion afflicted with COVID-19 disease at the Dehiwala Zoological Gardens is returning to normalcy. The State Minister at a media briefing today further said that it has been confirmed that none of the animals in the Zoological Gardens was afflicted with the corona disease. The police say that 1,281 persons who have breached the health guidelines have been arrested in the 24 hours that ended at 6 a.m. today. So far, 35,592 violators of quarantine laws have been taken into custody.
Now, in the meantime, Dr. Hemantha Herath has made a detailed clarification on the new strain of COVID-19 virus that is currently spreading in Sri Lanka. He described the manner on how the new virus variant is propagating and also informed on the health guidelines that should be followed by the general public to prevent its expansion.
There has been concerns raised about the transmissibility of the new variant that were reported in Sri Lanka. Yes, these viruses are capable of transmitting the disease compared to the so-called traditional variants or the normal virus that we are known to. However, this increased transmissibility is happening only when there is free room for transmission. That means if we are washing our hands frequently, if we are keeping our distance, and if we are refraining from gathering in public places unnecessarily, and if we are wearing our face mask constantly, continuously and accurately, then even the new variants cannot penetrate through those barriers. So therefore, we have to be vigilant. We have to take additional steps or other things as control measures from the authorities. These actions will be taken, but as public, I think what is required is to adhere to the required health guidelines much more than what we used to do in the past. And also we want to emphasize that whatever the action that you all are taking will not only prevent or protect yourself from this so-called new variants, but it will prevent the spread of disease to others as well. And as a result, there is a very high probability that this new variant can die itself within the community. However, if you breach this and if you don't adhere, there is a high chance of spreading this into other parts of the country, and more people might get affected.
Now, Sri Lankan fish produce has received Chinese health certification. The Sri Lankan embassy in Beijing City has announced that China's main customs administration, or the GACC Institute, has provided the health certification for Sri Lankan export. The basic factor necessary for the exportation of fish produce to China from a foreign country is the customs health approval of China. With the receipt of this certification, the fish produce of the relevant country will be open to the Chinese local market. China annually imports fish produce valued at more than $15 billion. However, with the onset of the corona pandemic, fish exports to China has decreased to $12 billion. As a result, the Chinese government has declared extensive duty relief for foreign exporters. The Sri Lankan fish produce are currently being exported mainly to Britain and European countries. It has been pointed out that with the opening of the Chinese market to Sri Lanka, the Sri Lankan food exporters would be able to reap more beneficial results.
In the meantime, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says it has become a timely need to turn towards organic farming in order to create a healthy generation. He further reiterates that a well-planned strategy should be carried forward in order to fulfill this objective. The Prime Minister was addressing a group of intellectuals on organic fertilizer and organic crop cultivation at the Temple Trees yesterday. The Prime Minister added that misconceptions have been propagated among farmers regarding application of organic fertilizer. Therefore, a methodical program is needed to enlighten the cultivators, and Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has instructed officials to arrive at a decision regarding children and general public getting used to organic cultivation. He has further pointed out that it is appropriate as it incorporates the schools and viharas in the program. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that there are separate programs based on individual preferences. He added that, however, there should be a common countrywide program for the manufacturing of organic fertilizer. The Prime Minister has further pointed out that the farmer communities should be included in the program on a larger scale. He has extended thanks to the officials for the preparation of a program in this connection. He added that until recently there had been an interest only among intellectuals. The Prime Minister also said that the President remains in an extremely clear stance with regard to this program. The relevant ministers connected to the project and also remain in an extremely resolved manner with regard to the implementation of the manufacturing project. President of the Government Medical Officers Association, Specialist Physician President Dr. Rupavahini has pointed out that at this occasion that the health of the general public have been subjected to a severe degeneration due to engaging in cultivations utilizing chemical substances for a period of over 60 years. As a result, the quality of the soil has also degraded due to elimination of species conducive for organic farming. He added that chemicals have also polluted the water and the environment. Specialist physician Dr. Rupavahini further said that according to a report of the Auditor General, Sri Lanka currently imports around 200 poisonous items. He further said that those who are receiving financial benefits and other privileges to these imports are engaged in numerous conspiracies against the propagation of organic farming. It has been critically established that the consumption of chemical material have led to the growth of kidney and cancer patients on a daily basis. The president of the GMOA further said that it has also been necessary to conduct clinics on diabetes in children. The chemical substances have also paved the way in the expansion of malnutrition and deformities in children. The government officials at the meeting have informed the president that there are adequate quantities of fertilizer available in the country for paddy, tea and other cultivations. They have also pointed out that some errant traders and importers are engaged in creating an artificial fertilizer shortage in the country by preventing the release of fertilizer stocks to the market. The officials have assured that there is no problem in providing the necessary organic fertilizer requirements for the Maha season. The officials have further stated that around 20% of the farmers are already engaged in organic fertilizer production. It has also been pointed out that the discussion that countries such as Cuba and Switzerland have already drawn the attention on organic fertilizer manufacturing as a result of the higher demand for this item in the world market. Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage said on this occasion that 95% of the fertilizer stocks have already been dispatched to the districts. The minister has also said that the government has prepared a program to purchase commodities turned out through organic methods of farming at a higher price. If any losses are incurred, the government would extend assistance to the farmers. He added that around 12 foreign embassies have already expressed support to provide necessary assistance in organic crop cultivation. Minister Alutgamage further said it was possible to finalize all arrangements pertaining to commencement of organic farming by next September. Prime Minister's Secretary Gamini Senarath, Prime Minister's Additional Secretary Chaminda Kularatna, Secretary to the Ministry of Plantation Industries Ravindra Heva Vitarana, Secretary of the Presidential Task Force for the Provision of Sustainable Solutions to Climate Changes J.A. Ranjit, Secretary to the Ministry of Agriculture Senior Professor J.M. Udita K. Jayasinghe, Secretary to the State Ministry on Natural and Organic Fertilizer Supply M.N. Ranasinghe, Commissioner General of Agrarian Services A.H.M.L. Aberatna, Chairman of the Sustainable Development Council Chris Damakirti and Organic Fertilizer Advisor of the Ministry of Agriculture Professor Priyantha Yapa have also participated in the discussion.
Now, it has been reported that large numbers of farmers and entrepreneurs are directing themselves towards organic fertilizer manufacturing with the government's decision to completely ban the importation of chemical fertilizer and to engage in organic fertilizer. Under the program, registration of many farmers and entrepreneurs commenced yesterday. Minister S.M. Chandrasena presided over the program at the Land Reforms Commission office in Anuradhapura. A sum of 1 million rupees on relief credit basis is being provided to each farmer engaged in the production of organic fertilizer. The Bank of Ceylon is implementing the program. Meanwhile, appropriate lands are to be provided to entrepreneurs for the production of organic fertilizer in large scale through the recommendations of the Land Reforms Commission. The Polo Nadu program was held at the district secretariat. The participants were enlightened on the manufacturing process. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Agriculture has taken over the Lanka Phosphate Company. The farmers' fertilizer requirements are to be fulfilled until the stabilization of the organic fertilizer manufacturing program in the country. Accordingly, fertilizer is to be provided at concessionary prices. A program to educate farmers on the application of organic fertilizer on commercial crops is taken at the Madamulana Lanka Coconut Development Training Center. The program dealt with coconut cultivation. Farmers in the Deraniyagala area were reported to have commenced production of organic fertilizer using plants such as Mana, Valsuryakantha and Guineaceria. The Vavuniya Civil Defence Unit commenced an organic fertilizer production program. The aim is to manufacture 300,000 kilos of organic manure in a month. The aquatic plants such as Salvinia, Japantapra are being used as ingredients in the production process. Farmers in the Kaludavala area in particular have been engaged in chili cultivation for a long time using organic fertilizer. These farmers say that organic fertilizer yields a much higher harvest than in the cultivation using chemical fertilizer. Meanwhile, many children are compelled to receive online education as a result of the corona pandemic and travel restrictions. It has also been reported that a large number of students are experiencing severe difficulty due to the lack of proper communication facilities in certain areas. Students of Omantha Janapada Vidyalaya and Dikhena Junior School in the Mathugama Education Zone are also facing such difficulties. Some of the students are required to climb to hilltops to follow educational activities. They have to engage in studies in small huts erected in such locations. Parents and caretakers of such children are also compelled to remain in such places to provide security to them. State Minister P.L. Nishantha has recently visited such high elevations in the Grama Seva divisions of Kirimatiyavala and Karavitakanda, Dikhena Pansakanda and Dikhena Batagodavilla to inspect how students were engaged in educational purposes. The minister also said that talks have been conducted with the relevant authorities and institutions on the provision of remedial measures since the time he was informed on the problems faced by the students. State Minister P.L. Nishantha also engaged in discussions with students and parents at the schools. Director of Education, Marugama Educational Zone, Lal Disanaik and officials of the Sri Lanka Telecom also took part in the discussions.
Now, the Galle Chief Magistrate has granted permission for interrogations on the 3 suspects, including the sub-inspector who had been arrested on charges of transporting 52 kilos of heroin till the 24th of this month under detention orders. The suspects were nabbed in Gonapinuwala in Hikkaduwa. Police media spokesman Senior DIG Ajith Rohana says that the duties of the SI assigned to the Kalutara South Police Division has been suspended. Secret operations have been launched on information received regarding the sub-inspector involved in drug racketeering. The suspected sub-inspector was nabbed in Gonapinuwala while travelling in a motor vehicle after receiving the stock of drugs in Habaraduwa, Galle. 2 other persons alleged to have been connected to the incident have also been arrested. They were residents of Matakulia and Jayala. 2 motor vehicles used in transporting of narcotics have also been taken into police custody. Police media spokesman Senior DIG Ajith Rohana said that the mastermind of this narcotic deal is a 25-year-old person named Shalindra Malshit. He was nabbed with 15 grams of heroin in Panadura in 2015. Information has been received regarding the suspect hiding in a foreign country. Information has been obtained pertaining to communication between suspects through latest technology. The only organized crime recorded during this year had occurred in Pallimula Junction in Keselwatta, Panadura on the 25th of January. A person travelling in a 3-wheeler was killed by a person who came in a motorcycle. It is believed that Shalindra Malshit was responsible for this incident.
සම්බන්ධ අපි තාක්ෂණික තොරතුරු ලබාගෙන තියෙනවා. මේ වර්ෂයේ සිදුවෙච්ච එකම සංවිධානාත්මක අපරාධය වන 2021 වෙනි දින පානදුර කෙසෙල්වත්ත පල්ලිමුල්ල හන්දියේදී ත්‍රිරෝධ රථයකින් පුද්ගලයෙක් ගමන් කරන අවස්ථාවේදී යතුරු පැදියකින් පැමිණ වෙඩි තබා ඝාතනය කිරීමක් සිදු වුණා. ඒ සිද්ධිය මෙහෙවා ඇත්තෙත් මේ මද්‍රව්‍ය ජාවාරම් මෙහෙවන ලද සලිඳු මල්ෂිත බවට අනාවරණය වී තිබෙනවා. මේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් තවදුරටත් අපි පරීක්ෂණ පවත්වනවා.
Raids on narcotics are being implemented continuously despite the COVID pandemic. 408 kilos of heroin, 298 kilos of the ice narcotic and 2,166 kilos of cannabis have been arrested in raids conducted from the 1st of January this year up to now. 17,026 suspects have also been taken into custody in this regard.
Now, the Ministry of Urban Development says plans are underway to develop 100 towns throughout the island this year. All common amenities in the towns are also scheduled to be fulfilled under this project. A project to uplift the towns of Rambukkana, Varakapolalawu and Balangodas commercial towns commenced yesterday. The program got underway under the directions of State Ministry of Urban Development, Coastal Conservation, Disposal of Refuse Material and Community Cleansing, Nalaka Gudaheba. A sum of 400 million rupees has been set aside for the construction of trade complexes and vehicle parking places. All constructions are scheduled to be completed within 4 months. State Ministers Kanaka Herath and Tharaka Balasuriya, parliamentarian Udayakanta Gunatilaka and local government representatives attended the event. Meanwhile, lands belonging to the Department of Railways are to be utilised for the development of tourist zones in Alla, Bandarawala, Demodara and Haputale of the Uva province. A group of officials of the Department of Railways, Ministry of Tourism and other people's representatives engaged in a fact-finding tour. Under the preliminary stage of the program, the surroundings of the Bandarawala railway station will be upgraded at a cost of 20 million rupees.
Now, Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena says that Satoshi outlets which provide consumer items of quality at lower prices to the masses will be established throughout the island. He made these remarks participating in an inspection tour in the Uva, Paranagama and Valimada electorates. Several branches are to be set up in these two electorates. The already established Satoshi branches in the island are functioning properly. Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena said that the Satoshi branch network will be expanded to cater to the needs of the general public. Accordingly, the prices will be determined according to market situations. The aim is to provide high-quality goods at comparatively lower prices.
A discussion on the development of the Sri Amuna Anicut in the Madiragiriya Farmer Settlement Scheme in Kauduluvava took place yesterday. State Minister Roshan Ranasinghe presided over the event. State Minister was engaged in an inspection tour of the area along with farmers. 15 minor anicuts and 47 kilometers of agricultural roads are to be developed. Development of the Makulala Reservoir in Bandarwel has also commenced. Around 2,500 farmer families are to be benefited through the program. A group including parliamentarian Major Sudarshana Dhanapiti engaged in an inspection tour of the area recently. 10 reservoirs are to be constructed in the Uva province under the Vari Saubhagya 5,000 reservoir construction program.
Well, that's a wrap of tonight's Primetime News, and until we meet again next time, do take care and good night.
Good.